Hi everyone. Welcome to the Now Testament. Here, we focus on what the Creator is doing in our time, while abiding by His principles and commands, so that we may have our testament in our time. Today, we want to discuss how we should properly regard our fellow believers in the Messiah who are poor. When someone is in the category of being poor, it simply means that they are in constant need of the basic necessities that are needed to function properly here on earth. Basic necessities such as food, clothing, shelter, and so on. The poor are often stigmatized, judged, and looked down on. But as fellow believers, if the love of the Creator of heaven and earth truly dwells in us, this should never, ever be the case. Because love is kind. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. And it is not self-seeking. It is important to note that the Creator of heaven and earth is the one who made the poor and the rich, as highlighted in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 2, where it states, "The rich and poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of them all." Likewise, in 1 Samuel chapter 2, verses 7 to 8, where it also states, "The Lord maketh poor, and maketh rich. He bringeth low, and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he hath set the world upon them." Seeing therefore that it is the Creator's doing, whether one becomes poor or rich among us, we should therefore interact with each other in love and all humility. Just to interject, not that we should be influenced by the world in any way, but just to highlight a point here, that there is this global initiative to eradicate extreme poverty for all people everywhere by the year 2030, which in fact is a pivotal goal of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Well, it's quite an ambitious venture which will never work. Why, you may ask? According to Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 11, the Creator said, "For the poor shall never cease out of the land. Therefore I command thee, saying, Thou shalt open thine hand wide unto thy brother, to thy poor, and to thy needy in thy land." And likewise, in Matthew chapter 26, verse 11, the Messiah re-emphasized this truth when he said, "For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always." This the Messiah said, because a woman had an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head, which his disciples thought should have been sold for much money, and given to the poor. The Messiah was in no way downplaying the needs of the poor. He understood their needs. He knew how they felt, as stated in 2 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 9, where it states, "For ye know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that ye through his poverty might be rich." Let's now look at how the Creator expects us to treat our fellow believers that are poor. In Deuteronomy chapter 15, verses 7 to 10, it states, "If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren, within any of thy gates in thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother. But thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him, and shalt surely lend him sufficient for his need, in that which he wanteth. Beware, that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying, The 7th year, the year of release is at hand. And thine eye be evil against thy poor brother, and thou givest him not. And he cry unto the Lord against thee, and it be sin unto thee. Thou shalt surely give him, and thine heart shall not be grieved, when thou givest unto him. Because that for this thing, the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thy works, and in all that thou put thine hand unto." Very clear words from the Creator of heaven and earth. When we regard the poor among us with a pure heart and love, it in turn benefits us, because we receive a blessing also. The Creator also commanded in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 22, that, when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field, when thou reapest. Neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor, and to the stranger. I am the Lord your God. In addition, Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17, informs us by saying, He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again. Luke chapter 14, the Messiah was invited into the house of one of the chief Pharisees to eat bread on the Sabbath day. In verses 12 to 14, he said to him that invited him, When thou makest a dinner or a supper, call not thy friends, nor thy brethren, neither thy kinsmen, nor thy rich neighbors, lest they also bid thee again, and a recompense be made thee. But when thou makest a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot recompense thee. For thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just. And, also as highlighted by the Messiah, the blessing released by the Creator when we treat the poor in this manner. As believers, we should never exercise partiality when dealing with the poor and the rich, as highlighted in James chapter 2, verses 1 to 7, where it states, My brethren, do not have the faith of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory, with respect of persons. For if there come unto your assembly a man with a gold ring in goodly apparel, and there come in also a poor man in vile raiment, and ye have respect to him that weareth the gay clothing, and say unto him, Sit thou here in a good place, and say to the poor, Stand thou there, or sit here under my footstool, are ye not then partial in yourselves, and are become judges of evil thoughts? Hearken, my beloved brethren. Hath not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you, and draw you before the judgment seats? Do not they blaspheme that worthy name by the which ye are called? The answer to that is, yes, they do. We should never treat our fellow believer, who is poor and is living a holy life, with scant regard, while exalting the oppressive rich person, who has nothing to do with the Creator of heaven and earth. The needs of the poor must never be ignored. If they are ignored, then the following takes place, which is highlighted in Proverbs chapter 21, verse 13, where it states, Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. And likewise, in Psalm chapter 12, verse 5, where it states, For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith the Lord. I will set him in safety, from him that puffeth at him. And as stated earlier in Deuteronomy chapter 15, when the poor cry unto the Lord against us, it now becomes a sin unto us, because we had it in our power to meet their needs, but did not do so. In closing, I leave with you the words of the Messiah himself in Matthew chapter 21, concerning what will unfold when he returns in his glory, and all the holy angels with him. He shall sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. He stated, Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee hungry, and fed thee? Or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in? Or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee hungry, or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. We hope that this message was a blessing to you today. Remember to share it with your friends and family members. Encourage them to subscribe to our channel for other inspirational messages. Have a blessed day.